Jerod Zavistoski, right here on LA Talk Radio.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Jerod Zavistoski, and you're listening to and watching Modern Male Radio. This is all the stuff your mama should have told you and the stuff your daddy never knew. And joining me tonight is always my co-host, Leah Pelka.
Hi.
And we have Shay and Rosie. I'm sorry, what were your last names? So we have Shay
Duguay.
Shay Duguay.
Yeah, Ryan.
Rosie Osborn.
Did you get teased a lot as a kid? Or I mean, it's kind of a great last name. You'd be like, hi, my name is Shay and you're gay. You know?
Yeah,
Like-
right? No, actually, my dad was a professional hockey player, so a lot of people related me to him.
Oh,
That's
okay.
So they
super
knew
dope.
it would probably
That's
not
really
end
dope.
well if they teased
Like,
me.
get hit over
Like
the
my
head
dad
with
will
a
take the
hockey
gloves off immediately.
Like a puck to the
Yeah.
And Rosie, what was your last name again?
Osborne.
Osborn, Rosie Osborn, cool. Well, yeah, it's great to meet you guys again, or see you again. So we met last night at Babes in Toyland, and again, I have to thank Stephen Fowler for an epic hangover. I don't know why he has to have those events on Wednesday night. I'm like, can we move to Friday so I can enjoy the weekend? But no. Awesome event. If you haven't been to a Babes in Toyland, you definitely need to go and check those out. The parties are getting better and better every year. So you can find it at babesintoylandcharity.com. Shout out to Stephen Fowler. So we cover dating advice on the show. Dun, dun, dun.
Right? Did he just bring that on you guys? Like, whoa, yikes. Let's just jump in
I'm
it.
sorry, wait, what?
Yeah, right.
Dating?
Yeah. So, I mean, give me your thoughts. Like, what do you think of modern dating today? Like, I mean, is it an optimistic picture or is it a
No.
pessimistic picture?
No.
She's like glass half empty. It's totally
Yeah,
empty.
I'm
Completely empty.
losing hope fast.
Okay, so
Yikes.
what are the number one things?
That's severe. That's high
What are the
level.
things that are kind of like, that are making you lose hope?
I feel like there's some really great aspects of like traditional dating that we don't really use anymore, and it kind of
Yeah.
like ruins things a little
Like
bit.
taking a
Like
girl out.
relationships move so much faster,
Mm.
and then they become short-term relationships, and you're like, well, what the hell was I doing, wasting my time with that for 2 months?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
What traditional things specifically do you like that you really miss?
It's kind of nice, I guess, sometimes to like just kind of move more slowly and kind of like, instead of like living with somebody within 2 months, maybe within
Right.
like the first 2 months is kind of like the interview, where
No
you're like,
boyfriend.
Yeah, so we're like, okay, let's weigh out the pros and cons and really see like where we're going with this, and then maybe by like month 6, then you should be like, hey, like, so let's establish this.
Right. No boyfriend
Yeah.
barnacles. Like, you can't have
Yeah,
that. It's too
yeah,
much
yeah,
for you.
yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. It's too fast. What about you?
Yeah,
I
go
agree,
for it.
and I think also like where you meet the guy too, that has a
Yeah.
lot to do with it. Like if you're gonna meet
Yeah.
a guy at a club
Yeah.
drinking, like
Yeah, if we just met at
probably
Hooters,
not,
probably not gonna be a
the
keeper.
guy.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, and that
Fair.
used to be the only place that you could go. I mean, when you think about it, you met people at bars. That's
Right.
where people
Yeah.
went to go socialize. Now they're dating apps, and you can kind of meet people through the grapevine.
Swipe
I
right,
guess.
swipe left.
Yeah.
So it's changing the dynamic, and it's really, really interesting because all of this, the chivalry and the dating and the taking a girl out and all this stuff. I mean, a lot of it you can rationalize it either way. You can say like, oh well, that's not really necessary because you're gonna find out if it works really, really fast if you do it the other way. The way that we're kind of growing into.
Yeah.
But it wars with our general character. It's something. It's just it feels like it's too quick, too fast. It's not. And all these different things, these social constructs that have been built throughout time, were there for a reason, and they worked. Taking a girl out to a nice dinner, getting to know her, keeping that space and that distance, letting the connection build, instead of just like jumping into it and being like, okay, well, this didn't work.
Yeah.
Right,
And plus,
right.
like, when it's so fast, you get bored so quickly because it's like, well,
So
now
true.
I figured everything
Yeah.
out within like a month, so I'm like, whatever, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you
Yeah.
meet like the representative, like you meet someone who's kind of like who they would really like to be in their own mind, and then like 8 months later they drop the left foot on you, you're like, who
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
my
And
God.
so it's nice because when
Yeah.
you're slower, then you have time to figure out that the representative dies in between.
Yeah.
everything. That's perfect. I like it.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, back to that because the representative thing is she's always beating the representative for us. And we're gonna be putting out a video on what we're talking about, what she's talking about with killing the representative. But yeah, I mean, people put their best foot forward a lot of the times, and they have this it's an
Romantic
act.
idea of who they want to be.
Yeah.
So it could also be
Right.
rationalized that
It's great in theory.
kind
Yeah.
of jumping into it really quickly allows you to see who somebody is really, really fast because you can't hide forever.
Yeah.
But if you're consistently like courting, it's really easy to put on an act and waste 6 months of a person's time. So I'm wondering if it is wrong, or if there's a right or wrong, in how a person should date. And I'm wondering if, could modern chivalry be kind of infused into the new way we date? Just kind of jump into it. What do you guys think? What do you want?
Well, yeah, but there has to be like a balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's great to have like modern constructs and like whatever. This isn't 1945, you know what I mean? But it's like at the same time, it's like good. Be like the gentleman and like be the nice guy, but like you have to like you can't. Don't be like a pushover. Don't be like overly nice, obnoxious, and then because then it's like okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to like date somebody I'm gonna walk all over. Like
That's
there
the
has
nice
to be
guy.
some-
They're trying too hard.
Yeah,
To be,
so
to
like
be a
gentleman and be a nice guy, but like have an edge and
yeah.
like be able to like have your own mind and
Be both unicorn and dragon, like
Yeah,
mystical
like,
and mysterious and
share
fire
the
breathing. We need
control.
all of these things.
You're actually like quoting my book right now. Like
Yeah.
it's, and I talk exactly about that. That the whole nice guy syndrome, where these guys they're desperately
too
seeking validation and
Yeah, they need
approval,
self-worth.
and it's like, well, I mean, they're it's just so try hard and it's gross, and nobody wants that, and it's a universally kind of gross trait. I think I find the same thing when women are like just too overly trying to please you, and they'll do anything you say. It's just like, get away
too
from me.
available.
Yeah.
So
Then there's also the other end of that though. It's like the egocentric guy, the guy who's like just the exact opposite, who's really arrogant. It's like you either get one or the other, and you're like, what is
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The guy
Well,
who cares too much.
yeah, it's like she said, balance.
Right?
It's so important. So, what are some specific things that you guys have noticed that really kind of irritate you in terms of dating? You guys have
Social
like
media.
social media.
Yeah,
It's fair.
I think that's definitely a game killer.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's so many guys who just, well, it goes like one of two ways. It's like there's people that see you on like social media or whatever, and then they're like, I don't know, they get this weird assumption of like who you are, how they can approach you, and like whatever.
Right.
Or they're just like super creeps, and they're like, okay, I can, I'm just gonna slide in the DM.
Yeah, go in
Like,
the DM.
Right,
You know?
right, yeah.
And they're like,
Last
they just
night.
assume that they send you a picture of their penis, and you're like supposed to like swoon and be like infatuated
And
with
we
them.
just send
you know?
them to
And,
each other. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
He
it's
calls this
horrible.
his penis.
Penis. I actually got a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, that was
Right.
the other
pretty
day.
good.
Yeah.
That
Micro
was good.
penis.
Was it
We
like
appreciate
spotted
you.
or something?
No, it was a
No.
different color.
Yeah, who was like, his body was one color and his penis was another. It was like,
He had like vitiligo in his penis.
no, it was like if
Interesting,
you
Cal.
took two different races and then like cropped a penis
Yeah.
onto another guy.
Oh.
Like I feel like I'd be like, I have questions. Slide it in my
Yeah.
DM. I need to see this. Questions.
And it's so talked about. I can't see how dick pics are actually still even relevant.
Yeah.
Around. But I mean, I work in the dating industry, so it's like I hear about it all the time, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, like how could you possibly
So
think
boring.
that that's?
Ew.
Yeah, I don't want to go on Snapchat and see 36
Yeah,
dicks all
we're
day.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
If I wanted to
36
see a
dicks.
penis, I'd go call somebody and be like, hey, can I see your dick? Like, it's not that complicated, but.
Abundance of dick pics.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a plethora of penis.
Yeah, a penis bouquet, if you will.
A cornucopia of penis.
Do you think that social media distracts people? I mean, so you're talking about just from your end because you guys are on social media and you guys have, a following that people get preconceived misconceptions
Yeah.
about you.
Definitely.
Do you notice the opposite end where social media is kind of distracting guys and making them like? Because we did a whole show on that.
See, I think that's another thing too, kind of like where you're going with that is like, I feel like also guys think that it's so easy that they can just be like, oh, well, if I just like comment on a picture and then I'll get her to start talking to me and like whatever, and it kind of eliminates that whole like having to get to know somebody and like do all this like go on a date and like whatever. It's become way too convenient to just like talk to people through a social media outlet, and then you just like assume that it's gonna be something that
Right.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's just not practical. Like
Yeah.
Do you ever have someone who comes along and shocks you, and they say some interesting shit, and you're like, oh, I need to respond to that? Do you know what I mean? She's like,
no, in what
all
context?
douchebags on her feed.
Yeah.
Like, let that be the word on the street.
No, not really.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't
That's
really
I prefer to
like
meet people
respond
in
to people
person.
on social media.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't
like
really
it.
want our story to be like, we met on Instagram in the DM.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's
Like,
fair.
I don't know. I just don't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I think that's actually insanely normal of both of you.
Yeah.
Applaud it on both sides. I like
Like,
it.
we appreciate
Yeah.
the nice comments, whatever, but I'm not really looking to like meet someone there.
Because like it's
Yeah.
a smoke screen too, because they kind of like put again the representative right up, right? Who they want to be. They're not going to put their like shit picture up there when they're just like, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
shit faced and crazy looking, and like when they're yelling at their mom or something weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then
And
also, if you assume that's how to approach a girl or approach like being with a girl, that's kind of a red flag to me, anyways.
Yeah, like how many girls
I'm
are
with
they
you on
doing
that.
that to?
Yeah.
Right.
How many copy and paste are you?
I have like a couple guys
And
in
we have
particular.
a couple people that
yeah.
write all of us. All
Yeah.
of our friends.
I'm like, these are my friends, and I see you commenting on every
that's
single one of
so
my friends'
awkward.
profiles.
See
Yeah.
you.
They're like, you're the most beautiful girl in the world. I'm like, well, 6 different people can't all be the most beautiful girl in the world, but.
Jeez, it's
Yeah.
just like a gaggle of beautiful bitches over there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. That's amazing.
So, yeah, when it comes to online dating, I mean, I am kind of like trying to write a book on that, but I don't. I've never really supported it. I think it's the stupidest thing ever. I mean, I get it. You know, when it comes to Tinder or Bumble or whatever, there's some functionality there for people that wouldn't go out and maybe go to bars or whatever. You meet an entirely different group of people. And when it comes to actually commenting and all that stuff, it's funny because there's a dynamic there. It's like, how would that person meet you normally in real life,
Right.
unless to stalk you, which is which is kind of what social media was used for in the beginning. It was like, oh, they're going to this event, stalk them, go to the event and meet them. But then you've got, if you come on too strong, if you write them a letter and say, hey, I think you're amazing and I think that you're beautiful and I totally want to take you out on a date, then it's like, oh my God, that guy's fucking creepy. Like how forward of him. Or if he's nonchalant about it and he just, likes a photo and, puts a comment that says, hey, cute. It's funny that there are so many different rules about that. And then on top of that, you still have to make it work functionally once you actually go out on a date. And I just, the whole thing to me is so silly and stupid. But we're in that world now, and it's unfortunately a part of life. And I know, I actually know quite a few people who have met their significant others on Instagram or on Tinder.
And then, like,
I feel like it's becoming like more and more of
Yeah.
a thing. Just like dating apps, like a while back, they used to have these dating websites and like Match.com was, well, there's like millions of people now here. And then that's going to happen with Instagram. I feel like in a few years, we're going to have the same thing, just like you're talking about.
Well, and the other thing is, it's not, the stigma with online dating, that was for people
Right.
who couldn't go out and get girls or couldn't go out and get
That's true.
guys. That's left. So now you've got girls on there that are, incredibly beautiful, and you've got guys on there that are, like, it was funny because I actually went on the app. One of my girlfriends let me scroll through some of the dudes, and I was like, all of these fucking guys look like supermodels. I was like, you assholes. Like, they're just killing it for all the average ugly guys.
I need more of those in my
Right.
inbox.
But I mean, are you
Where
on
are all the
Tinder?
supermodels? No, I don't.
See?
I don't know.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
that's what
no.
scares me. I don't know.
Right.
But
I
people-
feel like I'm gonna get
People,
carpal
like,
tunnel if
I'm
I
with
stay
you.
on
Me
Tinder.
personally,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the thing about Tinder is,
I'm like, ah.
it does, the guys, because there's so many available women, develop this kind of flippancy where they start to, kind of think of everything as disposable. They don't really care, and they don't
Yeah.
really spend the time to actually put in, the effort to really court the girl and to really get the girl and to really impress the girl.
There's just
Right.
like a huge lack of connection
Yeah.
when it's through something like that.
Well, text message is one of the worst ways to communicate in the history of the world.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
because tone,
Oh,
like you
you
don't
don't
hear
even know.
a girl
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
go psycho on you in 5 seconds flat if you don't text
Yeah,
something out the
okay
right
can
way.
mean okay, or okay can mean
Yeah.
I'm getting my gun and coming in your house.
Yeah,
Do
you
you know
better
what I
put
mean?
like parentheses like this is my
Good
nice
emojis.
voice.
Right.
Yeah, emojis.
Yeah.
Are
Emojis are, yeah.
Thank God for
They do,
emojis because
yeah.
you'd never know how somebody
Yeah.
actually feels about you.
So true.
So in real
Is there a
life,
heart
how would
there?
you guys like to be approached? Like in real life, if a guy was to walk up to you and say, "Hey, what would be your ideal approach?"
I don't know. I feel like I always end up dating guys that I like somehow know through like other people.
Mutual friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like
They
my
just kinda
good
set
friends
up.
would introduce
Yeah.
me to someone that they thought would be good for me. So I'm like already opening that trust level because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
someone that's
Someone's
Yeah.
vetted
Some
them
social
for you.
validation.
Yeah.
Or you've already known them for a while, like been friends
Yeah.
like, off and on
Sure.
or something, or like see them around, and it just kind of develops. I guess I don't.
Do you guys are you guys from LA? Do you guys live out here, or are you from somewhere else?
Orange County.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I totally
I'm
got the
from
Orange
here,
County vibe.
but
I knew it. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to just come out and say like you guys are
Whatever.
from Orange County.
I
Yeah.
actually grew up in LA. I've only lived in Orange County for like the last 4 or 5 years.
Okay,
but-
cool. Do you find that the dating scene is different down there than it is up here?
Everyone knows everyone in Orange County. It's kind of
I
like
feel like
Smaller
LA
town.
is
I
like that
don't want to
too,
date
though.
Yeah.
anyone in Orange County.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm from Alabama. Y'all know what
Yeah.
y'all talking about with small town. Okay. Okay. Like,
It's
Lots
just like
of
certain
bros.
circles, I guess, all kind of mesh together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, the more you get to know LA, it just becomes smaller and smaller and smaller.
Right.
And you know, it's like I can't go to an event where I don't know somebody or haven't seen
Yeah.
somebody. It's like, oh, hey, it's you. Fuck you again.
Yeah. But I guess if you live anywhere long enough, that's kind of
that's
like
true.
inevitable.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah. But that's why I try to
Especially if
like
you're
switch
putting
it
yourself
up.
out
Like
there.
I don't ever go out like where I live specifically, like in my city. I always like I'm like,
Kinda,
please
yeah,
get me
switch
out
it
of
up.
here.
Take the
Absolutely,
home
it makes
base.
it makes a lot of sense. I feel
Yeah.
like that's a smart
Yeah.
thing to do. You can go get shit faced
Yeah.
somewhere else, come back guilt free, no one knows your name.
Like
You're good.
branch out.
Yeah.
Go
You're
good,
see
yeah.
Other people. You
Right,
know?
right,
Like,
right. Yeah.
Incognito
Absolutely.
drinking.
Yeah, I'm like nobody here knows.
Do the
who I am.
Vegas
They don't
thing,
know what's
introduce
going
yourself
on.
as someone else. You're like, yeah.
Like who?
It's
Rosie
nice.
who?
Yeah.
I'm like exactly.
It's exactly what I do.
My name's actually Megan. Nice to meet you.
So when you guys talk about, you know, that you guys miss what's going on with dating, I mean, is that if you guys are meeting guys through mutual friends, does that kind of kill it for you? Because it's not the typical, hey, I saw this really pretty girl, I'm gonna walk over there and talk to her, I'm gonna go get her number, and then I'm gonna set up dinner and a date. You know, because it's kind of a friendly environment. Does that kind of take away from the
fun.
pressure and the fun? Yeah. Or
Or
well,
like the excitement
he would feel that,
of like
yeah.
him coming up to me and
But at the same time,
And actually getting to know each
Yeah.
other, as opposed to if you guys are mutual friends, it's like, oh, well, you know her, so we're good, and then you guys kind of just hang out, and then you guys end up, you know, hooking up, and now you're in a relationship. It's like,
Yeah, but also,
guys
I
don't
mean,
do that enough though. Guys don't really come up. I don't know.
But see,
Well,
I'm
they do
kind-
though,
yeah,
because then
but-
they're kind of. I don't know.
but I kind of feel like the whole
hard.
She's
like
like, yes, but they're not
like,
qualified,
yeah,
so we dismiss
exactly,
them before
so
they
they're-
even get to
you
us.
see,
I
like,
feel
that's
you.
the whole
see him
thing,
and we
like,
walk that way.
the concept of a guy
Yeah.
walking up to you and being like, "Oh, hi," like blah blah blah, like it's great in theory, but that guy could be a complete psychopath who has like,
Would
know,
you guys
like
ever
toy
approach a
dolls
guy?
hanging in his
Yeah.
garage.
Would
you
I
ever
know,
approach a
that's
man?
the problem with modern day, like.
Yeah, I would approach a guy if he's.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Is that your preference? Like, is that why
Especially
you
if
like
I'm
it?
buzzed. I'm
Is-
like, you are hot.
Is that what your preference is? Would you rather approach them? Is that something that's kind of more ideal to you then?
I think that's just like the dominant,
Yeah.
controlling side of
We
me.
both
that I'm
do
just
have
like
that.
you over here.
But I haven't really
That's-
like. I don't know. Like I said, I think it depends on like where we are too. Like
Yeah.
I don't typically look for guys like.
We're just at in the
At-
back of the
when we
bar.
go out-
You see one.
It
Yeah.
depends. It really depends. Like I don't drink, so like I see it all.
I don't know. I'm with
oh,
you on
you
that.
don't drink at all?
No.
I'm with you on
Wow,
that.
okay.
Yeah. So I don't really have the excuse. Like, well,
Yeah.
but
No
Yeah.
regrets over here.
yeah.
Oh, I'll
like,
do
no.
it sober. I'm just as nuts sober.
Yeah,
I don't
the-
care.
Well, that's one of the dynamics. That's one of the biggest shifts, and that's one of the things that we're going to be promoting with Modern Female. One of the biggest things that I think could change in society, that needs to change in society. I feel that, you know, women should be empowered more to actually go, hey, I like this guy. Da, da, da. We should establish and set kind of rules of engagement that women can follow, adopt, and feel good about. And it's like,
Absolutely.
you don't have to wonder if she's interested in you now.
Right.
She is interested. And she did it in a way that's also alluring, that also lets you hunt, that also lets the man embrace his masculine and go after her. You
Right.
know, so it's not like, because I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes girls are like, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to hit on him, because, and I'm just like, oh my God, get away from me.
Yeah.
Like bombard you. and
Yeah,
be
there's a way to
Whoa.
do it. So I mean, you know, it can be
It's
simple.
style and
Sometimes
panache.
women are too subtle though, and they'll be like, well, you know, I smiled at you and I gave you an indication.
Like,
I was
didn't
like,
you see it?
I didn't know if you were smiling at me or the guy over there or
Yeah.
what the fuck, and I'm like, I didn't know if you were smiling before I started looking at you or after. Like,
Yeah.
you
And then
know.
if you approach her wrong, she'll like rip your face off, you know?
Yeah.
She's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know?
So I think that it should be left up to the women. I think that, you know, today in society, I think that could be a really, really awesome thing if we could start a movement where girls.
I do it. I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you guys too. I do it. I think a lot of women do. It's interesting because like I think majority of my friends are dominant too. Would you say a lot of your girlfriends the same way?
Very
Oh,
dominating.
We
Yeah.
hang out
Yeah.
together in packs
Yeah,
and
in
droves,
packs.
don't we?
Or like
Just
a
alpha
dominant,
females.
like a wolf
We will walk
slut.
in a bar and just be like, no, don't talk to us
Yeah.
unless we talk to you.
Yeah.
And then it's cool. And then
Yeah.
like we'll say some really dirty stuff to you and be like, can you handle it?
Yeah,
I
we
get
test
it.
it out.
I see you
Yeah.
guys.
See
I
where
like
you go
it.
with
I
this.
like it.
And it's funny because you know, with guys, it's the opposite. I mean, 90% of my dating advice is keep it clean as hell. You can be edgy, you can be all of those different things. You can be funny, you can be outlandish, you can do, you know, pretty much anything, but just take the sex and take it out, because that's the number one thing that most guys are going to get hung up on. But it's funny because I have met and you know, hanging out with Leah a little bit, alpha females. That's one of their first things is they go out and they get nasty and they get, you know, sexual.
I'm that girl. I'll be like, I see your size 87 shoe beat to capacity. I ain't mad about it. Like, go ahead, white boy. I'm not mad. Like, I'll
Sexually,
do it. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
sexually awkward. But it's funny how aggressive males are with that kind of naturally, and how dumbfounded they become when it happens to them. Because you go out there and you say something and he's like, like, how should I react to this?
That's the best thing ever.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is fun for us.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Stumped.
there's definitely going to be a shift, and maybe there could be more of that. Maybe if women start doing it more, maybe men will end up being the kind of prudish. What did you say? Did you really say that?
I feel like we're inducting new people every day. Do you not feel like you grab your one girlfriend like, come on, pussy, quit this
Yeah,
shit?
yeah,
Like,
stop
you
that
need to
shit.
come on right now. We're inducting every day, so like it may happen. 3 to 5 years is our projection.
Yeah.
We're gonna be taking
I
over.
agree.
So what is your favorite quality in a guy? What's the most attractive quality to you in a male that you just think is sexy as hell?
Ambition.
Okay.
Always the first answer. I love it. With a
Usually
good
it's
girl.
confidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to. No,
Yeah,
like don't be
confidence.
cocky.
Their
but
self-worth, like just
Yeah.
like knowing who they are and what
Yeah.
they want, but having
Right.
respect at the same time. You
Right.
know, it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
being
agree.
happy in who you are, not trying to be what society says is cool, this like tough whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're really not.
Well, and it comes through, it bleeds through.
Yeah,
no matter what.
exactly. And hi, it's a
You're gonna
waste of
see
time.
that you're insecure.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you talk about ambition. So in my book, I detailed this whole thing, and it's a little trifecta. It became this like I didn't realize how well it was all connected. But ambition is like the number one thing that I promote within males, because ambition, you go out and you seek and you find and you get. And that quality is attractive in two capacities. It's attractive because it's fun to, it's really, really an attractive quality to watch somebody go out and smash goals. It's just like, yeah, like I want to, it's inspiring. And then also on a primal level, it's like, I need to know that you can take care of me. From a woman's perspective, you're like, I need to know that you can handle your business, you can handle your shit. If you set a goal, you're going to do it, you're going to follow through, you're going to be consistent. I need to see that you're going to go out and you're going to bring back food for the family on a primal level.
Consistency.
Right.
But the
absolutely.
interesting thing is that drive in itself causes confidence, because if you're driven to do something, usually it's by pain. You're upset at your circumstances where they are now. You say, I want better for me. I'm going to go out there and get that. And it's through that process of going out there and getting more experience that you start to become confident and you understand your surroundings. So one creates the other. And then as you become more confident, you become more comfortable, then you learn the social nuances of the situation, which creates charm.
Yeah,
And I think those are the only three things that any male needs.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Drive, confidence,
all-
and
Because if
charm.
you have that like aura about you, that kind of like automatically makes you like more attractive. You know what I mean? Like I would rather be with a guy who's like maybe an 8 out of 10, but is like super cool and just like, hey,
100%.
like here I am, what the fuck, you know?
Right.
Then like a 10 who's like, duh, like you
Yeah,
know, I don't want to
yeah.
do that.
We were talking about
Yeah,
that
cut the
last
shit
night,
immediately.
aura
Yeah.
of people.
Do you find that more attractive men are usually dumber, or is that a misconception?
Sometimes, the majority of the time, because I feel like they don't have to try as hard, maybe,
Okay.
because they're like, whatever, I'm so hot,
Yeah.
these girls are just gonna flock to my dick, you know? Like it's not quite how it works, but
No.
good luck with that.
Right.
Have
Right.
fun.
So you said drive and you said confidence, right? Leah, what's yours?
I mean, again, I would agree with them, and I would go with like the umbrella of just ambition. Like you need to see someone who's gonna have it. Like, but ambition with everything. Like I want you to have ambition to be a better guy, to be a better, like husband and worker and son or whatever else you need to be. Like in everything, I want you to continue to try to stair step up. Do you know what I
So
mean?
it goes right back
Impress
into
me.
self-development. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you want to know that they can go on autopilot, and you don't have to be a mother to them or raise
Yeah, they're-
them. Like
'cause
I
it's
don't ain't, got
independence.
ain't nobody got time for that. Like ain't
Yeah.
nobody.
But I
Yeah.
feel like relationships are like that all around, like friendships. Like you should want each other to be the best that they can
Right.
be, and I feel like a lot of relationships nowadays aren't like
And
that.
you'll-
Like,
you'll
people
make
are
each other the
selfish. Even
better
friendships,
version of each other.
it's just like,
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, it's
That's the
codependency,
worst.
or
So with
they
you.
end up competing with each
Yeah.
other, and it's really
Yeah.
sad when you see relationships. Because I see this a lot. We have a lot of pretty girls on the show, and you find a lot of times that their male counterparts end up being very insecure and kind of scared at the idea of their success and independence, and they kind of try and cripple them or shut them down.
Exactly.
When they're on the verge of a big deal or a breakthrough or something's coming, the male will subconsciously pick a fight. He might not even know why he's doing it, but it's like I had a friend who's, she had this like amazing deal that was about to go through, and right in the midst of that, her boyfriend, pick this huge fight. And it's like, and I'm not even sure that he.
Right. I'm with you though. I'd be like,
no.
I wish he would.
Yeah.
Try it. Like I wish he would try it.
Yeah.
So what is the least attractive quality in a guy to you? We can, whoever's got the first one.
I'm like, I have so many.
I know.
I can name 12.
You guys can name your top 3 if you want.
I think
It's a lot
ego is
easier.
like-
Ego is the
ego
worst.
is
It's
the worst.
so
Like,
obnoxious.
It's so obnoxious and not attractive. And even
It's
if
the
they are
worst.
good looking, like everything's just out the door at that
Done.
point.
I'm
It's
done
just
now.
I
like,
also I hate when people aren't like straightforward. Like
yes.
I
Liars,
feel like
yeah,
guys
people
are
who lie.
so. It's weird because guys are so simple yet they're so complicated at the same time because I feel like they don't know what the fuck's going on in their own heads. So they're just
Communication
like,
issues.
yeah.
Like they don't
Right.
just say it. They beat
Yeah.
around the bush.
I'm like, just
Right.
tell me what you want and I will give it to you.
Yeah.
But like, tell me
Stop.
what the fuck is going on. Like, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh well, so is this like?
I think people are afraid of hurting each other. And I think fear is one of the. It's like the root of everything. It's the root of all evil. And yeah, I think that men might be afraid of what they're really thinking or what they're really saying. And I think that people get in relationships for the wrong reasons, and they might be keeping the other party around, wasting their time because they want to have their cake and eat it too, or whatever the reason is. Maybe they can't be fully 100% honest. And yeah, that is another big problem, is that a lot of people don't know what they want.
Yeah, that's why it's good to
Exactly.
take it slow though, because then you get that interview phase, and you get to like, as you are developing a relationship with each other, you're also like, you still have your independence, and you're still doing your own thing, and you're being comfortable with doing that
Right.
while you get to know somebody. So it's like you're not losing yourself in the midst of like, you're not getting consumed in this thing so fast.
Right.
And I think that goes back to like your self-worth too, like knowing who you are and what you
Being
want.
comfortable
At least
by
aspects
yourself.
of who, like of what kind of person you want.
For sure.
Well, personally, like one of the things that I really put out there to guys a lot, when it comes to courting, I love courting. Like I get off on that, the whole Prince Charming thing. Like I love to kind of spectacularly surprise and impress somebody, like consistently. And I love to learn who a person is and then kind of make, this custom build date experience for them.
Every bitch got a folder in Jared's mind. Every bitch got a folder. Let that be a word on the street. Yeah.
Well, no, but it's like, it would be very, very easy to kind of fall into a general like, oh, hey, I like you, you like me, let's go to a restaurant. Well, I like this restaurant, but never mind, they're taking other girls to that restaurant. It's like men tend to be habitual and they have patterns. So when it comes down to it, it's like, I like to learn what she likes and then go from there and really, really kind of make this a creative experience. And it's really fun being able to give gifts and surprise people and watch their face light up. But I mean, it's only if they have like a face that lights up. I mean, she might just have like perma bitch face, and in which case it wouldn't work.
I feel like for the hardcore bitches like us, it's the little things.
Yeah.
It's the little things.
really
Like, if
is.
you do little shit for us, like we don't need to be like
'Cause we can
massive
do our
in
own
person.
shit.
Because like what you're
So,
talking
like,
about, you can do it in a macro sense or a micro sense. And I think for like people like myself, it speaks to like a micro level. If a guy can just remember me in a small scale, like I think it's super dope when a guy writes like on the mirror after a shower and then like it fogs up and you take a shower. You're like, aw, you little dork.
Somebody's done that for you?
Yes, my man.
And the other thing is
I'm
that,
like missing out on a lot here, and I'm getting really annoyed. This is not
Hey, the
okay.
vetting process is deep over here.
courting is, here's the thing. People think that courting is something that you use and throw away, like it's a tool. And I talk about this in my book, that, guys have consistently bad courtship approaches because they kind of get away with not doing it. They end up getting the girl in their awkward way, however they end up getting her. And then at some point, they've got her. So she's not going to teach him how to do it properly for the next girl. She's not even thinking about that. So he never actually learns how to actually bridge that gap and entice the girl.
You gotta train them.
Yeah, you have. Well,
You
they would
totally
need
do.
they
No,
would
you
need
so do.
training like after the fact because they would never actually get that. But the thing is, courting is something like courtship should be like second to a relationship. It should always be there. It should always be a continual process of courtship and development.
Yeah.
And I love doing, when I've been in relationships, kind of pretending like, okay, hey, we're not in a relationship. I want to pick her up and we're going to go out on a date.
Role play.
And this is going to be like the
Role
first
play.
time I've seen her.
Right? Everyone's like, hello. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Play.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I
It
agree.
keeps the mystery alive and keeps you wanting the other person
Wanting
all the
more.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like so many people now are just like, well, it's been 2 weeks. Hey, let's have a baby.
Yeah.
And, people just
You're like,
move,
I'm already pregnant. Like it's,
overnight.
it's so
I had this plan 6
exhausting.
months ago.
Yeah.
But it's like, whoa, okay.
It's
Yeah.
exhausting. Yeah, it's really, it's moo rapido.
I think it's important though, to kind of let I kind of like to let the guy take the lead and kind of I feel like you have to let
'Cause
guys
you're
figure it out. Yeah, but if you push them too hard, like if you got a good thing going, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like don't like push him because he'll be like, dude, fuck this. Because
Yeah.
like guys,
Right.
like they need to be like in charge. They need to like feel like
Be a man.
yeah,
Right.
they need to feel like they're bringing something to the relationship. So it's like just let them drive, like let them figure out when it's their time to like.
Right, and
figure
I
it
feel like when you do that, like guys get happier and they kind of become more masculine. They kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, they start walking around with like
Yeah,
this
like,
like
let
the
him be a
chest out
man.
situation. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're so cute and fluffy over there. Like it's cute.
You're
You're
like,
fluff
I
him up.
organized this whole thing.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what
such
I
a
mean?
mastermind. You fluff them up and you're like, I
Exactly.
fluffed you. Settle down.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if you wouldn't be so excited if it weren't for me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So yeah, I
exactly.
feel you.
Yeah, what was that line from My Big Fat Greek Wedding when she's like, "Oh, I know. We make him think that it's his idea."
It's
yeah,
true.
it's genius.
True. Yeah.
And I mean, women have been masters of that for years and years. And, I mean, decades.
Manipulation.
Yeah, I mean,
We do it.
But
Yes.
We're
it's
nuts.
not such a bad thing. Like I even talk about manipulation in my book and how I think that guys should invest their time in self-manipulation as opposed to trying to manipulate their environment. Manipulate yourself, make yourself magnetic and attractive. You know, sports is
Most
a
definitely.
type of manipulation. You're lifting weights, you're building your body, you're increasing your cardio range so that you can compete with somebody, to get the ball. Well, in this situation, think of the ball as the girl, and you can manipulate yourself to compete with other men, but you shouldn't manipulate women to, it's a whole other dating another dating sect. There's a whole other group of people out there that kind of propagate that, and I'm not a big fan of it. But
Competing with one another, like the same sex, and not focusing on the opposite. You mean?
Well, no. So modern male, our whole philosophy is, make yourself into the best man you can be. You'll be attractive and you'll allure. There are dating guides out there like the pickup artist community where they talk about how to kind of, don't do any refinement and just learn how to turn her on
okay.
and manipulate the woman. And I guess it works in some respects, but I've watched a lot of girls just completely bury these guys. So I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the. Yeah, they're like, oh my god, this guy's so annoying. He's still talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't get to your one. What's the least attractive quality?
I mean, like I just think insecurity and just like not knowing what you want to do or where you want to be or like who you are. Just you know what I mean? Like
Is that because it's funny because you've been saying it like that? Is that because it's bratty and childlike?
that is like, again, that goes back to probably what you were saying too. It's just like the level of maturity. Like you need to be mature. Like that, if you're immature and if you need me to answer questions for you, then you need your mother. You don't need me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That sounds
I
true. It's a little,
can't
like,
raise
juvenile.
you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna suck your penis and raise you. Like that's not gonna happen. Like I'm not. It's too weird. It's too weird. Like it's too weird.
That's
Yeah, it gets too crazy.
That's a
That's
lot.
so weird first.
I mean, yeah, it's too crazy.
I've experienced the opposite of that, and I've been in relationships where it was like I was acting like a dad, a best friend, and a boyfriend, and it was like I can't be all those things.
That's a lot
You
of
became
pressure.
exhausted
Yeah.
though, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like it's like it's
tiring.
putting too much weight on you. It's exhausting to you.
Well, and I think that's that's that really kind of reinforces the importance of having your own life and having your own goals and
Right.
being able to that's one of the most important things in a relationship. I feel is space. She needs to be out there doing her
Exactly.
thing
Right.
and having
Thank
her
you.
own
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
And I need to be doing my thing. And if you're really like, I've just never been super concerned with, what she's doing or, I guess guys could be insecure. Like, oh, what if she cheats on me? What if this happens or that happens? But in response to that, I'm like, dude, just work on you and hold your shit down and she'll never leave. It's not like
Right.
that. And women are notoriously monogamous, whereas men are, it's almost like they fear what they are, because men.
I think
are,
that's insecurity again, though.
I actually was just talking to somebody about this the other day because I learned in psychology, like biologically, like women are more likely to, and this doesn't give guys a free pass, but so yeah, precaution there. Okay, but like women are more likely to seek out a long-term partner because they only have like one egg a month, so they want, and then guys, they're like seeds everywhere, they're less monogamous by nature.
Yeah.
Not that it's an excuse to be a douchebag, but
Well, and the whole
Right.
thing with jealousy, possession, love, lust, all of those different things. I mean, those biological functions are there, and men do fall in love, and it's not like we're incapable of that. We do find a girl and we go, wait, wow, I want to be with you forever. Like this is, and what that is biological compatibility. It's your genes saying, this is your perfect match. You're gonna procreate with this person.
Mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, have babies.
Deposits.
They'll turn out well.
Sperm bank.
You know, and I think when you break it down like that, it's like all of a sudden it becomes a much easier thing to sort of combat. I mean, I've never been the kind of like when I'm in a relationship, I don't even look at other girls, but for guys that are might be having trouble with that, that might be something to think about. That they just it's just your biology telling you to procreate. You can very easily go, okay, when you identify what that is, it's like, oh, well, I don't need to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
When you kind of find the root of the problem, I feel like it's much easier to fix.
I also feel though, if you're with somebody where you're constantly like looking everywhere else, like if that person can't keep your attention like that, that's probably not the person you should be with then.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Because that shit is not gonna go away.
And then they're always the first one to get mad when someone looks at you within 2
Yeah.
seconds. And you're
Like
like,
their
up,
own-
see your
Because
game,
they
I'm
know
done
they're
here.
doing that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. When they
Guilty
do that, you're like,
conscience.
all right,
really
you're
going
crazy.
on?
Goodbye.
So what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, what you so worried about?
Yeah.
I have on
And-
yoga pants.
yeah.
Of course I look good. Of
Well,
course.
and I
And they're
mean
see-through.
the science behind all of that. I mean, right there, it's he's there because he's shooting low and he doesn't think that he can get any better. So he's looking around, and the second that you look, it's just fear of loss. It's not. It has nothing to do with the
Fear
fact that he
again.
wants you. He definitely
Yeah.
wants something better. It's just he shot. I'm sure this hasn't happened to you guys. I'm sure this is a metaphor, but when that happens in those situations, it's like it's. I think a lot of men will shoot low because they're not refining themselves whatsoever. They're not producing enough value or creating something that's going to be attractive and magnetic to women. So it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna want this thing over, but you can get that. You just have to put in the work to be the kind of guy that she wants, that she wants in her life. So let's go through some like maybe unique experiences. Do you guys have any like horror stories? You guys have any funny stories?
Every guy I've dated is a horror story.
Right.
They're all bad.
Right.
Well, it's funny because like when I started this program, when I started writing the book, everything that I was doing, I've never walked up and met a girl who was just like, men are awesome, and it's mostly like I've never met a girl who didn't have a complaint.
Because they suck.
Yeah.
Because you guys suck.
So how would you go about fixing this? If we could make it a perfect world right now, how would we do that? Oh, gotcha.
God, I don't know. I mean, perfect is like.
Perfect's
Well, what would be
boring,
perfect
though,
for
too.
you?
Perfect is boring.
I don't want it to be
Right.
perfect. Like I want to be kept on my toes. Just
Want it to
don't
be
be a
real.
skeezy douchebag. That's all
Don't
I
give me
ask.
major
Like,
issues.
yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
small shit to get over. Like I don't
Yeah.
mind if it's a little thing, but don't give me like huge. You cheated on me, and now I gotta get. I'm not getting over it. Not
Yeah.
over it. Never gonna be over it. We're done. Like
Yeah.
Once
don't.
trust
Yeah.
is out of there, I feel like.
Right.
I mean, you shouldn't have a problem like wondering if like when the girl goes out or the guy goes out. Like I feel like if you don't have trust in the beginning, then that relationship probably just is never gonna work.
Yeah.
For me, like I can't. I'm gonna go be with my girls, and then I'll be with you too. But like
Right.
if you are all weird and giving me anxiety when
Yeah.
I'm trying to enjoy myself, like
Yeah,
you
I
don't
can't
trust
do
me, so then why
arguing.
should we be together? You know?
Right.
So trust is a major issue for you guys, which kind of boils down to insecurity. Again, it's like, and I think insecurity gets thrown around a lot, but I think that's one of the very, very specific places that it does fit, like completely. I personally, I'm over here like, if my girl wants to go out with her girlfriends, I'm like, yeah, go, go,
Yeah.
go. I have shit to do.
Man
Right.
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
No, because I'm always working, and I find that I have to apologize a lot of times for not being available. And I love my alone time. I love sitting there and thinking and, nerding out on the computer. And to be terrified or frightened that she's going to go off and do something, it's like, you're not, then what are you in the relationship for?
Exactly.
Like, you obviously
That's
have,
my point.
yeah, it's just bad. So, what's one thing that you would change or could change if you would in dating, or in the opposite sex? If you could, like a genie in a bottle, like if you had one wish, and you could make that one wish, and you say, hey, I wish guys were more like this or more like that. What would you pick?
Less dramatic.
Dramatic. Okay, we've
Yeah.
never gotten that one before.
Like I don't know. I feel like I've dated a lot of guys who are I'm just like, it's just always something. And I'm just like, dude, like life is stressful. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
life is stressful
Right.
enough. Like
Yeah.
you should compliment each other, not like, and I think the problem is like, what is that movie? Is it Jerry Maguire or whatever? You complete me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like you need to be whole on your own.
Yeah.
Like you
Right.
should never complete somebody.
You enhance
compliment,
me?
yes. but
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like when you guys are together, it should be for the fact of like being together, not like. It's
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Deal with your
Not
bullshit,
'cause-
like,
yeah, 'cause you're
outside of the-
codependent?
Yeah, because you ruin it.
Because they're trying
Like,
to fulfill something in
yeah.
themselves. Like,
I'm like, I
from
don't want to
you,
go home and
like-
deal with drama. That's not
No,
what I want to do.
bye.
Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So-
That's no fun. No
Yeah.
drama. What's yours?
Oh my god. I think I don't know. Communication's like huge for me. I feel like they never fully communicate. We kind of touched on that earlier. Like I don't know, just better communication, like all around. Like I feel like they'll like say something or they won't, because then that just cuts me off. Then I'm just
Right.
like, bye. Like if you're not even gonna talk about it, then like I'm not gonna waste my time with you.
yeah, guys are kind of
they-
elusive sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they like do that so you want to talk to them more. I'm not that type that's gonna be like, oh, what do you need? What do you need?"
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe
I'm
that's
like,
back to
say
dramatic
it.
though. That's kind
Yeah.
of just the same as dramatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
like,
it's like
just
that's
say it.
obviously a big deal because you guys have kind of
we're
touched
a
on the same
lot
thing.
Yeah,
Well, we're both
this-
Scorpios,
Yeah.
so we're both like, don't like. I'm not gonna
Aw.
drama fest with you.
My
Like, if
daughter's
there's, I have this
Scorpio.
problem with friends too. It's like,
Yeah.
don't like be passive aggressive and don't like play
Exactly.
little like head games.
Right.
Like, if you need something
Yeah.
from me, like say what
Yeah.
it is and I'll do it for you.
Because
But
friendships,
like,
friendships
clear.
or relationships mean a lot to me. Like if I'm gonna
Yeah.
invest my time in it, then it means a lot. So give me that
Yeah.
respect to
Not here
talk
for
to me,
nothing.
or if there's something I'm doing, whatever, so we can work it out and figure it out. Don't do these games
Yeah.
because I'm gonna go the other way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't have time for it.
Not
I've
a
done
psychic
way too
or your
much in my life. I've
therapist.
done, yeah, not here to do that.
So communication, and yours was less drama. And what's yours?
Less dishonesty. I don't have time to decipher what the F you're saying. Tell me straight out. I'm exhausted. Like, I just, look, if the truth is bad, just give it to me. Because I'll be like, oh, that sucks. But I'll take it. And I'll just be like, all right, I can either live with this or not. And then I have a choice. Don't make me find out 8 months later you have some crazy porn addiction and can't get up because, like, it's just too much for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or you have some, like, you're killing people. Like, it's too much. Like, it's,
You're killing
or you're a chronic liar. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you're a chronic alcoholic. I don't have
Ew.
time for
I
that.
hate
Like,
liars.
right, it's the worst.
The
You know what I
worst.
mean? Like, are they, you know, they were somewhere else, and it's just like it's too exhausting to have to. Like, I saw a receipt from
Figure
another
it
place.
out.
It's
You're not
crazy.
It's
trying to
always
be a
the dumbest shit
detective.
too. Like they lie up.
Yeah.
is.
Literally
Like what you had for
stupidest things.
breakfast,
Like,
like-
it's like-
Is.
Or
You're
like I had a
right.
chicken sandwich, but it was
Yeah.
like tuna.
And you
you're
see
like,
the
"Why?"
receipt,
And you're
why?
like, why?
But
I don't
once
even
they
know.
said
Fuck
it, it's
is the point
out,
of
so
that?
they have to
Yeah.
stick
Yeah.
by
You're
it.
committed.
right?
They're- and you'll even question them. You'll have the receipt in front
Like,
of
you
them. Like, it
already know.
says you had a hamburger, and they're like, nope, didn't. And you're like,
That's not my receipt.
this is exhausting. I'm just
Oh,
like,
that's my buddy. He must have
I'm
left
not
it.
letting it go.
Yeah.
There's your MasterCard number.
I'm going
Not
there
letting it
and I'm
go.
gonna ask to check on camera. So you gotta tell me
Exactly.
the truth.
Dishonesty. It's
It's a waste of
exhausting.
time.
Because
That's
I'll make a
fucking
point
hilarious.
too.
You're like, we will figure it out.
Yeah, I'll make
Oh,
a
yeah.
point.
But you're
Women
not
are
trying to be a
super sleuths.
detective. You know, you're trying to be in a relationship.
No, but
not
if I
be a
have to be,
police
it's
officer.
exhausting, and I will.
exactly.
So
So I think that I think that a huge part of it is being the kind of guy that a girl would want. So working on the development, having the drive, the ambition, the confidence, all of those different things, and then also being honest. Because a lot of these nice guys will get the two confused, and they won't do a lot of the refining things. They won't develop the edge, or they won't develop the sex appeal, the fashion sense, the things that a girl's gonna look at and be like, oh wow, it's attractive. But they end up being really honest and really nice and like, hey, I'm, or they come on way too strong. Like, I love you, I adore you. If you wanted to send me some of your panties in the mail, like I'll totally love them
Sniff 'em,
forever.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It's like,
Um,
you don't have
It's
to
so
be
exhausting.
perfect. Like, be you, because
Be real.
you is who I'm gonna end up with 3 months down the line.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to know what I'm getting into, like from the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
don't be some like image or like whatever, because
Be a Chex
Yeah,
mix.
you're
Be a good
fake.
balance of everything.
Well,
Yeah.
and then
Balance,
that
yeah.
comes into development. So
Balance.
Balance is key.
when people say, be you,
Knowing who you are.
it's
you
yeah.
should be careful who you say that to.
Yeah,
sometimes.
because sometimes it's like, well, maybe you sucks.
Yeah,
maybe you're
right.
not likable. So I always like kind of put it out there, like be the best version of you, the best you can be. Embrace who you are, hone your strengths. Really, really develop your talents, and be okay with it, accept it, love it. And anything that you don't like, fix it and discard it. Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
It's
don't be
like-
afraid to
Exactly.
grow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't want to date a facade.
No.
'cause
Right?
I think
Not
that
trying to do
It's
that.
like a
Yeah.
mirage. Like, it's
Yeah.
so nice from far away, and then you get in there and you're like,
It's
what
bad.
the fuck is going on
Yeah.
here?
Why is lava here?
it's like fake it. It's like
Liquid
faking it
hot
till you
fire.
make it, but like
Yeah.
you're faking you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
I'm gonna pretend to be this guy, and maybe someday I'll become this guy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what the
Living a
representative
lie.
is. That's exactly who the representative is. It's who they want to be in real life, and they just can never live up to it, and it starts to crumble. And when that facade
Yeah.
crumbles, that's the dishonesty I'm talking about. I'm like, I ain't got time for this. Like, okay, so you're really not the person you said you were 10 minutes ago. It's exhausting.
Thanks for wasting my time.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
that.
this.
Time to
I
go.
hate you.
Yeah.
May your house burn down.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Like, yeah, it's
With your cat
exhausting.
inside.
Exactly.
So bad.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because we're going to be releasing the book here shortly, and I was coming through this whole, I just put like the about section about it, and it was I'm trying to remember if I want to be able to say it verbatim, but it just perfectly describes like this whole conversation in like one page, and I think it was a modern male, a male with the balls to be honest, the drive and tenacity
We
to
need those.
maintain
Yep.
We're all
We need
balls.
balls.
vision and focus, while maintaining the truth of what women seek, or something like that. It's interesting, and I mean, this is one of the funnest things in the world. Like I get to interview people on social dynamics, and it's like they're always changing. They're so complicated. It's just it's one of the coolest things that I get to do. But now we get to talk about what you guys do, because we're gonna wrap the show up. So where can people find you? What have you got going on? Are you working on any projects right now? What would you like to promote?
I'm kind of just working on, like, I actually took like a break from work. I'm just like working on like doing shoots and stuff like that, and kind of doing more stuff that I haven't really had time for
Okay.
lately. But I guess you could find me on Instagram, Lady Misfit, with 2 I's and 2 T's.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Look her up.
Yeah, no, we kind of are on the same path right now. We were thinking about doing more shoots and stuff like that. We both took a break. I have a 4-year-old daughter, so
I got
and
you.
mommy, but we started going out again. We were gonna be doing more shoots, but yeah, my Instagram is Miss Shay with 2 underscores. It's MS__SHAY.
Lots of underscores. So when you guys say you're getting out there, so you mean like more modeling?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
cool.
gonna do more modeling.
Yeah, and you guys got the brain for it. Might try hosting, getting out there.
Yeah, we're
and-
just getting back out there again and seeing what like comes our way.
Right.
So.
That's fair. Yeah.
I kind of like dabble in a lot of like different things. I've been like kind of mainly like stuck in the tattoo and like vape modeling
Yeah.
Right.
game for a little bit. So I'm kind of trying to like
Get out of it.
Yeah,
Not get
I
out
kinda
of
wanna
it, but
do
just,
like I'm actually like in the process of like totally switching up like my style right now, just like
Transitioning
whoa,
yeah,
into something
changes.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're growing. I mean, that's
Bam.
cool.
Yeah, it's like an ever evolving
Expanding.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
like
see,
it.
that's probably a misconception that a lot of guys would have about you guys immediately off the bat. They're looking at your Instagram, they're going, oh, well,
Yeah.
they're probably only interested in tattooed rocker guys, you know?
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's a big problem with like Instagram in general, is that like people, just people in general, like they don't realize it's like social media is kind of like a tool, you know. It's
Yeah.
just it's literally just an image. So there's so many times where I meet people and they like assume that I'm gonna be like polar opposite of how I actually am, and I start talking to them and they're like, whoa, I thought you were gonna be like a total bimbo airhead, and I'm like,
Yeah.
thanks.
I get the dumbest fucking DMs on Instagram from people that are like, it'll be like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, the first picture on my page says LA Talk Radio.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I'm from fucking LA.
Louisiana.
Or they
So I'm in Germany.
ask me, what do you do? And I'm like, there are 100 photos of me with people in front of a big fucking sign that says Talk Radio.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder what I do.
So I'm a stripper.
And it says in my bio,
Ship it
it
down.
says, modern male, and it gives a description of the brand and stuff. And it's like, that's fucking what I do. You know? It's like, it's right there.
If you knew how to read.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but
Great.
It's that lame intro.
Ever since-
Couldn't think
Or-
of anything else.
and I thought it was the dumbest thing. I used to get so mad, but I realized that my name's not on there. So people would ask me what my name is, and I'm like, what are you fucking stupid? Like, you're
Like
on my
what?
Instagram.
Would you like to be called modern or male?
Yeah. They're like, oh, so hi, modern. How are you? And I'm like,
Right.
what is going on here? So cool. Leah, where can people find you?
Leah Pelka on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, just super
Cool.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Thanks,
as
Rosie.
always, you can find us at. Do you guys have any closing statements? Is there anything else that you want to put out there? Any last minute inspirational tips for the male community?
Just be yourself. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unless you're an asshole.
And then be anyone else.
Yeah. Then go talk to some other girl.
Right.
I don't know.
Be the best version
Be the
of
best
you.
you
Yeah.
can be. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Always seek self-improvement.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one of my
Right.
tips
My best
personally is I always lead with love and connection. So I always seek to either understand, connect with another human. If you kind of lead from a place of love, you tend to overcome a lot of the obstacles that
Sincere.
are
Be
involved.
original. Yeah. Be
Sincere.
original.
With communication. So that's it for tonight, folks. You can find us at modernmaileinc.com/radio on Twitter. You can find us at Mail Methodology on Instagram, modern.mail. And very, very soon, we're going to just streamline all that shit because this is getting old. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. And looking forward to some other cool projects coming from the Modern Mail movement, but I'm not going to be talking about that right now. That's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Modern Mail Radio.
You're listening to Modern Mail Radio with Jerod Zavistoski, right here on LA Talk Radio.